My name is Andrew Zamora. Just a little bit about me, my story, and how I came to Christ. You got to take it back to 2010-ish. In about 2010-ish, I got really heavily involved in alcohol, drugs, kind of the whole party scene around those things. Dove really deep into it and really made that the center of my life. That lasted about 2 years. That was kind of, before that I would dabble in it, but for those 2 years straight, it became a daily, nightly thing. There wasn't a day or a night that did not go by where I wasn't using drugs or alcohol. I was holding down a job, running a merchant banking company, but couldn't afford to keep a roof over my head. So in about 2012, in the midst of all of this addiction, I found myself living in my car, living right out of my car. Everything I owned fit in 2 totes, and one was in the back seat, one was in the trunk. Everything I owned was in that vehicle. In September, on September 29th, 2012, I remember being out on my own. I didn't have anybody to hang out with, so I would just go to a random bar and meet friends. And I remember being at a bar, had drank away or used all my money on drugs and alcohol. And I remember walking into the restroom and just thinking to myself, looking in the mirror, what a piece of garbage I was. And realized right then and there that the only out for me was to take my own life. So my big plan that night was get in my car, just kind of drive up and down the road that the bar was on down in Phoenix. I had warrants for my arrest, no insurance, no driver's license, expired tags. I knew it was just a matter of time driving up and down the road before a cop would get behind me, hit the sirens, pull me over, run my info, and take me in. I wasn't gonna let it get that far. My big plan was, as soon as I saw that cop get behind me, put my right foot down, aim my car at something solid, lights out, no more addiction, no more hurting the people that I cared about, just ending of the story right then and there. So I hopped in my car, I left the bar, I got in my car. I decided that before I was gonna go kill myself, I needed a last meal. I had $3 left to my name. I remember I pulled into a Wendy's parking lot and I needed a Baconator before I went out. So I'm in this Wendy's parking lot in the drive-thru. I'm at the order box. Nobody's responding. I'm yelling. I'm shouting into it. Nobody is there. I get really angry that they wouldn't serve me. Put my foot down, start doing donuts in the parking lot, and nail my car into a curb, cracked the transmission pan, and coasted it into a parking spot. As soon as I got out of my car, 2 cops pulled up right behind me, hauled me off to jail. That was it for me. I didn't even get my Baconator. Come to find out later, the reason nobody would take my order, apparently it had burned to the ground and there was only one wall left standing, which was facing me. So I was so wasted, I didn't even realize that the building itself wasn't there anymore. So as I'm in jail, there's not a lot to do in jail. You just kind of walk, talk, eat, and sleep. So I'm walking around the pod one day, talking with a buddy of mine named Mike Pierce, and we're just swapping war stories, telling the stories of the good old days when we were free. And I'm telling him this story about the night that I got arrested, everything that I just mentioned. And it hit me. It hit me like a baseball bat. My buddy calls it the Holy Spirit bat. It hit me like a baseball bat that was Jesus Christ. Like, that was God reaching down into my life and saying, your time isn't up yet. You're still needed here. He let my plans play out. He let my addiction get the best of me. I wasn't willing to surrender to him, so he just let me run things, run the show. He let me get in my car that night. He let the cops show up, and that's when he decided to take over and start writing a whole new story in my life. The moment that I realized that, everything changed for me. My whole outlook changed. I was sold. I was on fire for the Lord. I got saved in jail. I got baptized in jail. And I spent the next 2.5 years in prison, where I got to just share what God had done to me to people who probably would have never heard that message. I got out, and I was terrified that I was going to go right back to the life that I had led. But I found some great people. I found recovery. I met amazing people in recovery. I met my wife, and she was really involved in youth and student ministry, and she got me real plugged in with that. That's been it for me. You know, this all took place in Phoenix. About a year ago, we moved up here to Prescott, and I'll tell you what, the life that I had then, it would have been a dream come true if I had a one-bedroom apartment that I could call my own. It would have been a dream come true to make it a week without needing drugs or alcohol to get through the week. I've been sober since that night, September 29th, 2012, so nearly a decade now. We live in this amazing town. I've got 4 absolutely amazing children, a wife that I absolutely adore. And these were things that I not only didn't think were possible, these were things I never would have had the audacity to dream after. And God stepped into my life that night, and he said, I have so much in store for you. All I need you to do is just surrender all of your life to me. Give it all over to me. And I'm gonna show you a life that is beyond your dreams, beyond your wildest dreams. And he's come through on that promise. He comes through on that promise every day. Today, life looks totally different for me. Today, it's full of joy. It's full of appreciation and gratitude. And it's not just the big things, it's little things, driving down the road, realizing that if a cop does get behind me, I don't have expired tags. I don't have warrants for my arrest. I don't have no insurance on my car. I have a driver's license. Little things like that, which to a normal person seem totally rational, to me are huge blessings. And God just keeps showing up in these ways. He's let me run successful businesses. He's let me minister to students at our church. He's let me parent amazing kids. He's let me be a husband to an amazing wife. And he just keeps allowing these amazing miracles to take place in my life every single day. And if you submit, if you just say, God, I don't know what to do with this addiction. I don't know what to do with this problem. I don't know what to do with this relationship. If you just submit it to him, you just hand it over to him, he will show up in such an amazing way that the outcome will just be so far beyond your wildest dreams.